hoping you enjoyed that one. I'm hoping you're doing well. I'm hoping you're having a great day. This is Kai from Kai Tours here on Sunday, the virtual tour Sunday. And I'm very happy that you are here with me. I'm excited what we are going to do today. Today I'm going to show you the best locations in my consideration, my humble opinion, were the best locations to visit on a day trip from Playa del Carmen. You could use these recommendations as well for leaving from Cancun or from Tulum, but I consider Playa del Carmen as one of the best strategic points for day trips, definitely. You might think, oh, I'm more a party guy. I like to be in the hotel zone of Cancun because there's a lot of nightclubs and many other exciting things. Well, feel free to do so. Once again, Playa del Carmen, my consideration, the best place to leave and explore the I'm just getting raised volume. I'm just getting a bit nervous because apparently you can't hear me. Let me see quickly what we are going to do here. Can you hear me? That is a good question. 15. Let's see. Is that better? Can you hear me now? Let's see. Hello, hello. The technique is always the same. So, can you hear me now? I can't seem to find the reason why you would not hear me. That is a bummer. That is a lot. Hello. That is a pity. Okay, let's see what we can do about this. I do not get any feedback. Let me see. Listening, high volume, blah, blah, blah. Let's try something. Yeah, the microphone. Okay, I think you can hear me now because I'm double checking here. It was just really low on volume. Advanced property. Let's try to get this up. Let's try to raise the volume. Okay, that will have to do. That is very strange. I will get the microphone a bit closer. What about this? Yeah, it looks better. There you go. Okay, I'm expecting you to hear me. Once again, all those little bloopers we have. In the beginning, YouTube is not receiving enough video to maintain smooth streaming. As such, viewers will experience, I'm getting some, let me see. Yeah, I can hear myself. This is good. And then we will just jump right in. I'm not sure why we would have such a low volume on the microphone input at the moment. I am confused, as you can see. Okay, well, I would like to show you the first screen. And there, what is a cenote? A cenote is a sinkhole, as you can see here as well in the description. A cenote is a natural pit, a sinkhole, where the upper ground level collapsed into the underground river. The water here of the cenotes is underground. It's a river system we are talking about, and yeah, let me show you some pictures of these cenotes. This is a typical picture of one of my favorite cenotes. As you can see here in the upper part, we are underground. You can see the roots of the upper vegetation looking for water, and I'm not sure if you can see that here, the body of water down there. That is, like I said, groundwater, fresh water. The cenotes are an underground river system where the rainwater is accumulating and eventually going towards the oceans. So let me show you some more pictures of cenotes. There are different styles of cenotes, like I said, and you can go into different ways to the cenotes. Obviously, you can go by stairs. We need to go underground, like I said, by stairs. You can also rappel into the cenotes. So that is the more exciting way to do it. And here you can see a typical cenote, like I said, the stairs. Here is the upper level, and down here, which you already have seen. And here are other pictures where, like I said, there are more than 6,000 cenotes. We are not going to show you, but we're going to show you the most beautiful ones, since I consider them as beautiful, lovely, and doable in a day trip from Playa del Carmen. Here you see some reenactment of Mayan ceremonies in that cenote, and that is the most exciting way to get into a cenote. Once you are down there, this is how it looks. A lot of stalactites. Here are our happy guests and our tour guide Santiago with them in the water. As you can see as well, they do have snorkel gear. Since this is fresh water, very clear water, we want to show you what is in there, what is to see there. And it is very exciting, as you can see as well on the facial expression of our guests. You see here as well sources of light. Obviously, we're going down into the underworld, into the Mayan underworld. That's another story I'm going to tell in a different day or a different live stream. But what I was trying to say, there is illumination down there. If it is not through the sunlight, this is an underwater picture, by the way, then the owners of the cenotes, usually they install lights down there, so you are feeling comfortable about it. So, like I said, I'm just showing you some couple of cenotes so you get an idea what it is all about. Again, as a summary, since we are about to reach the end of these pictures, the cenotes are a sinkhole or a pit or a lagoon, lagoonish, a pool, where the upper layer of the earth structure collapsed into an underground river system. It is fresh water. There is, depending on how much light is falling in, a lot of flora and fauna to see there. The visibility is 100%. I am, as the photographer, roughly 5 to 6 meters away, which is 15 to 18 feet away. And as you can see, that is giving us some really great shots. Okay, I would like to move on with you guys and show you other cenotes, or not cenotes, other destinations. Now we are going from the south of Playa del Carmen. We are heading over to the mainland, to Chichen Itza, the biggest archaeological site of the Yucatan Peninsula. Talking about the surface, it is the second most visited archaeological site in Mexico itself. It is, for many people, as the 7th new world wonder on their bucket list. Very a must thing to see. What is important when you go to Chichen Itza? Chichen Itza is, like I said, very big. It is 2 hours driving from Playa del Carmen. I recommend you to be there early in the morning. Getting up early helps a lot. As you can see, there's hardly any shade, and it becomes very quickly very, very hot. So here is an archaeological guide explaining our guests about the main structure. As you can see here is a picture how they found it back in the days, the explorers. And as you can see, like I said, there is hardly any shade, so it is highly recommended to get there early. All archaeological sites in Mexico are opening at 8 a.m. and I highly recommend you to be there at 8 a.m. or even a couple of minutes early, so you are one of the first inside and you can explore these areas almost by your own. As you can see, there are no other people than our guests, and that is the best way, in my consideration, to explore these archaeological sites. We have, for each destination, I prepared 10 pictures. I'm not going into detail what it is all about. I'm not giving you a guided tour today. Feel free to reach out. I'm happy to give you guided tours as well here online. But like I said, the idea is I'm showing you in roughly an hour, and we're already 17 minutes in, the most beautiful archaeological sites. We're heading to Coba, which is from Playa del Carmen 1 hour and 30 minutes away. There are plenty of areas to visit. As you can see, there are lagoons around, and it is a lovely place or a lovely archaeological site for the reason that it is very interactive. What I'm trying to say is this. I hope you can see that very well. Let me just quickly double check. You can see that. Yes, okay, I'm not talking about something you don't see. What is really great about Coba, it is very interactive. Kids love it, children love the bicycle part. We rent bicycles there. You can rent bicycles there, support the locals, and as well pass distances in a quicker way. And what is it all about? Usually it is about climbing this structure, 42 meters, 140 feet, if I'm not mistaken. The main structure called Nohochmul, and same recommendation here, be there at 8 a.m. in the morning, get the bicycle and ask where is Nohochmul, or ask your guide who is with you. He or she will take you there immediately, and you will find these stairs, by the way, 120 steps, you will find these stairs empty. These are our guests, and if you Google Coba, you will find the same structure, but on Google Pictures, you will always find it with plenty of people on it. And as you can see as well, the part down here is still in the shadow. The sun is just about to get up. Obviously, it depends a bit on the time of the year, how high is the sun at 8 or 8:30, the moment we reach this point. But here again, children really excited about the interactive part of Coba, climbing the stairs. And Coba is one of 2 archaeological sites we can still climb at the Yucatan Peninsula. This is the view from Coba, beautiful view over the jungle of the Yucatan Peninsula. He already explored very much the area, and there is much more to see, not only the main structure. Obviously here, one of the famous ball courts. Coba has 2 ball courts, and once again, I'm not getting into detail too much at this point. Yeah, I took this picture in order to give you a reference. This is the average height of our guests, and this is the ball court. In that way, you get to see what dimension the ball court had in Coba. And again, an archaeological guide. All our tours, by the way, we include the archaeological guide, so you get to see these stories. You get to stories. I mean, they tell you history, obviously, but what I'm trying to say is it's a bit more immersive experience if you have someone telling you about everything in these archaeological sites. Talking about the second archaeological site you are able to climb, we are going to Ekbalam, which can be easily combined with Chichen Itza. You see, we are flying around from one part to the other of the Yucatan Peninsula. Let me quickly show you where we are. We are at the center. Here is Chichen Itza. This is Ekbalam. Like I said, we just came from Coba, and now we are going to take a look at the Ekbalam pictures. Ekbalam is a rather small archaeological site. If you go by your own, or if you go with us directly from Playa del Carmen, it's less than 2 hours driving. I consider it as well one of the most beautiful archaeological sites. What I really enjoy about it is as well the interactive part. You can walk through the structures, and partly you can as well still climb them. As you can see, this is the second largest archaeological site, and yeah, another little challenge for the morning workout. What is really great about Coba, they reconstructed the frescoes very, very detailed. As you can see here, this is one of the few archaeological sites, if not the archaeological site, where they put the most effort in reconstructing a certain part in order to give you a better idea how it used to look like. This is makes it very unique. The view makes it very unique, and like I said, it is interactive. Those pictures you are able to take by your own, or have your guide taken for you, obviously. And then we are moving on. What will be our next destination? We are going to Isla Mujeres, lovely, lovely Caribbean island in the east of Cancun, to the east of Cancun. This is the city of Cancun. As you can see, here we have the airport, and here is the famous hotel zone. And as you can see, the beautiful colors of the beach. This is why you are coming here most likely. And Isla Mujeres, like I said, is a lovely Caribbean island. It has its own charm. It's beautiful to visit, and there are many ways to visit it. You can go by the ferry, you can hire a private boat, go snorkeling. It is really recommended to go snorkeling. It has some of the most beautiful snorkeling sites around this area, the underwater museum, and up here in this area, are very shallow snorkeling areas. Beautiful, beautiful way to explore the island, or to start the exploration of the island. This is the south tip, Isla Punta Sur, it is called. You can, once you are on the island, rent a golf buggy and come up here to this part and walk to this part. The picture was taken from our Isla Mujeres tour, where we at the beginning explore the north beach of Isla Mujeres. It is the rephrase it, among the top 10 beaches of the world according to TripAdvisor for a couple of years. Here we are going to explore the beach a bit, take some pictures. I chose this picture in order to show you what kind of boats we are using. These boats we are using as well, especially this one for our whale shark tour. North Beach, lovely, lovely. We like to go there early, so we have it for our own, maybe taking some pictures and then going snorkeling. As I mentioned before, the snorkeling part is the exciting part in my consideration. Getting in the water and get to see, get to see these fishes, that is definitely exciting. The water is usually year-round at 87 to 90 Fahrenheit. That is 27 degrees Celsius. That is the Musa, the underwater museum. No worries, nobody dumped his beetle there. There are structures, over 140 different monuments down there, sculptures, that's the word I was using for the idea of that underwater museum is eventually it will overgrow with coral, as you can see here. And I'm not sure if you can see it, but there is a fish hanging out here. Coral is very important as an ecosystem for the many critters and fishes. Like I said, golf carts are a really fun way to get around on Isla Mujeres. Isla Mujeres as well is very famous for its street art. I have chosen only one in order not to make it a street art tour. This is just a very typical place to take some good pictures, same as the letters of Isla Mujeres. In our case, I highly recommend you to take lunch or dinner at the beach. It is lovely atmosphere in our case. In our tour, we are including a lunch right at the beach. I'm hoping you enjoy that. Okay, then let's go to our next place. Let's have a look where that will be. It says here, the folder, the next one I'm going to open is Las Coloradas. There we go. And I think you will like that place. All in all, I have to mention before we get into it, it is the most far away, the most distant place of all the destinations I'm going to show you. I forgot about my coffee, it's getting cold here. Anyway, this is from Playa del Carmen, 2.5 hours. From Cancun, it is 3 hours driving. Please keep that in mind when you book these tours. Ask, very important that you ask for the distances, but I'm giving you right now, if you're listening, if you're joining, if you like what we are doing, you are listening to me. I'm always interested in not creating any wrong expectations. So what I'm trying to do here is give you that heads up that it is quite far away from our start destination, Playa del Carmen. It goes all the way here and then up here to this area. Like I said, from Playa del Carmen, 2.5 hours at least, and from Cancun, even more, at least 3 hours. Let's have a look. What were we looking at? We are looking at the second biggest salt production in Mexico. And that is the reason we have those fields, lagoons here. And what you can see here are mountains of salt. And the way they produce that salt, they get salt water from the ocean in these fields, and slowly it would evaporate the water. And due to a certain algae in there, the water turns that color which everybody wants to have a picture of. I call this tour as well the pink picture tour. If you're interested in getting your pink picture, well, let me know and we are happy to take you there. Let me run you through it. This is the other way. This is the way we're coming. This is the other point of view. We just have been on Google Maps or Google Earth. Thank you, Google, for doing that, actually. I'm really excited doing that. And this is my drone view of this area. We would come down this road and drive here and have a look at this beautiful area. This is the town of Las Coloradas, a small fisherman's village. Here's our van. Step out, have a look, let's take some pictures, and as well, let's explain you a bit more about this area. Here is our van, and like I said, here's one of our guides, Martin, explaining a bit more about Las Coloradas, the salt production, the little crustacean animals in the water, which is the reason why many times we see flamingos as well. And this is our family from Belgium who enjoyed this area last year. Okay, Where are we going next? We are jumping to Muir, the south of Tulum. From Playa del Carmen, roughly 1 hour and 15 minutes away. As you can see, beautiful lagoons here. What we are going to look at is the archaeological site of Muir. I consider it a really, really interesting archaeological site. First of all, it's very small. We are usually there 45 to 60 minutes from stepping out the van to getting back. 60 minutes, I would say. But it's very secluded, very hidden deep in the jungle. I always hear the theme music of Indiana Jones here when I'm starting to guide in this area. Lovely archaeological site, like I said, small and not very crowded. You most likely, if you choose to go to Muir, will be by your own. As well, a picture of reference, those are our guests, and that is the main temple of Muir. Lovely pictures, people enjoy always this area. And in comparison, if you are still with me here and you have been with me in Coba or Chichen Itza, you can see that this area looks slightly different with all the moss growing over the archaeological site, which is due to the humidity of the forest here and is giving that archaeological site its specific I would call it charm. It is, like I said, a really charming archaeological site. I really enjoy going there. Let me show you the next one where we are going, which is Punta Laguna, which can be very easily combined with Coba since it is just 15 minutes driving from the archaeological site of Coba. Can you see that symbol? Can you figure out what this symbol is? And when I found that symbol or that icon to put it there, I really was happy to see that. It's a little monkey. That is the reason why we like to come to Punta Laguna. As you can see here as well, it says Punta Laguna Monkey Spider Reserve. As a little reminder, if you're not familiar with Kai Tours, we do not support any activities or companies which are making the money of animals in captivity. There are a couple of companies who are like shelters, or some of them are calling them as well a reserve. In that case, that is a reserve in the protective way, in a way that they are not interacting with the wild living animals. There are other shelters where you get to see monkeys or other animals in incarceration, in captivity, and that is something we absolutely do not support. For obvious reason, we prefer to show our children how are the animals actually living in the wildlife. So if you want to show and educate your children in the, my opinion, right way, how is an animal in the wildlife living, well, take them out there, go on an exploration. They will enjoy that, and they will get to see how those animals are living. I'm talking about monkeys, and I'm talking about as well dolphins, which are sharks as well, which you will be able to get to see on tours if you look for those sustainable tours. Here you can see actually my family, my youngest boy Emilio, my older one Tonio, and my wife being here with us. That's quite a couple of years ago. They are much taller now, but why I choose this picture, you just saw we are crossing the lagoon with the canoe. They are wearing a helmet here and a harness because we are able to go with the zip line over the lagoon as well. And I do not want to skip this one. It is a Mayan community. If you're interested in learning more about that community, we are able to participate in a small, I would call it a cleansing ritual. It is a shaman who is asking the Mayan gods for our blessing. So we are crossing the lagoon in the canoe or the zip line safely. As you can see, for children, again, a very interactive way to explore Mother Nature, as I mentioned as well before, it is easily to be combined with Cobar. You remember there was the bicycling and the climbing archaeological site. So for children, this is a perfect day trip. And as I mentioned before, you will even finish it off with finding spider monkeys and howler monkeys. I do not promise anything since those are wild living animals, but so far, let's knock on wood, we have found animals, the spider or howler monkeys there any given time. Every time we have been there, we found them. When you reach out to us and I will send you an itinerary, or you ask me what is the likelihood to find the animals, I would always say 95%, just to give me that little 5% of chance to that we might not see them. But once again, let me tell you, we have seen them very often. As you can see, he is very excited or surprised to see us. Okay, let's move on. As you can see, I'm going through those areas rather quickly, since we only have an hour, or I do not want to bother you that much on a longer time. We are in Rio Lagatos. Let me show you where that is on the map, which is close to... I just saw that that is not in alphabetical order. Rio Lagatos. You just saw that. Here we just have been. You can combine it very well with Las Coloradas. Here is Rio Lagatos. Actually, if you go there and you go on a tour, we would go down this lagoon on a boat. As you can see, here's our boat. And then here's our boat, go into the mangroves, and we are going to explore this beautiful area. Rio Lagatos is a nature park, or a national park, a biosphere reserve, they call it. We go, as you can see, here's our boat. We go all the way down here to this area, and as you can see, we end up at Las Coloradas, at the Pink Lagoons. Here in this area, we usually find those flamingos. Let me switch over to the pictures, and let me see. I think I can even move to Earth Star Management. No, I thought, okay, that I can start a gallery view here, which is making the pictures a bit bigger, but apparently that's not the case. Here is Santiago again with our lovely Belgian family. They are enjoying the ride with Santiago and the boat. Like I said, wow, this tour is all about wildlife. We are going to see usually crocodiles there, the American crocodile. Please do not worry too much. We are not getting into the water there. Lovely shot of a white heron with some breakfast, and here are the flamingos, which is a nice combination. You remember I was talking about the pink picture. That is a nice addition. We cannot promise you that they are there. They are also having their typical seasons. Usually they are there year round, and I can imagine, especially now with no tourism around and hardly any noise in this area, they are there plenty of flamingos. Those are our guests. Like I said, we are going to the area here, and what we can go with the boat to this area here. And what sometimes happen is that these lagoons are not as pink as these lagoons. What this company is doing, they're actually changing the water from one lagoon to the other, and in that way you can see that there are different shades, and it becomes more and more pink colored the more concentrated it gets. So with the boat we can only come to these places here, which you can see is not the pinkest part. This is the part where the flamingos are, here, over here, and they are standing right here on that little land strip right now. This is where this picture was taken. Okay, so that is why, oh yeah, that's a lovely picture. It is as well a great way to do the Mayan clay bath. What is it about? You can see this here. You remember I was talking when we were talking about the cenotes that the Yucatan Peninsula is made out of limestone, calcium. That is very rich in calcium, the ground, so it's very fine and it works very well as a peeling, a scrub. So that is why our guests are enjoying that as well. Speaking of nature, we are exploring a biosphere. You see here Nature Park Rio Lagatos. We have seen crocodiles, we have seen flamingos, plenty of birds, the heron, and now I'm going to show you another on a completely different area of the Yucatan Peninsula. Did you just see where we jumped from the northern part? We came from here and we went totally on the other side of the Yucatan Peninsula from Playa del Carmen, 2.5 to 3 hours ride to come to Punta Ellen to have a look at this area. So you can see as well a lagoon similar to Rio Lagatos, and there is the Caribbean Ocean, and you can even see again our boat here in order to explore this area. What are we going to see on this area? Let me show you. We are going down the lagoon. Here are our boats, and it is as well all about wildlife. Here are our guests happily enjoying the sun, and here we are going to watch for birds. As you can see, mangrove islands growing in the middle of the ocean, plenty of birds. These are frigate birds, and in the biosphere of Siancan, there are over 377 different species of birds. There are thousands, if not million birds, but what I'm trying to say is it is so rich, the biodiversity in this area. It is exciting. Here is a pink spoonbill. As you can see, the bill, the peak, it looks like a spoon that is giving its name. Those are the frigate birds, the males during mating season. And we get to see dolphins. You remember what I was telling you about animals in captivity? Look at these happy faces here. And I'm getting excited. Encountering wild living animals, it is just the right way to do it, the best way to do it. And there is something to it. The moment you finally find them, many times we have to look for them, obviously, because they're in the middle of the ocean. Sea turtles, isn't that a lovely encounter? And we go snorkeling in this area as well. We're going to explore Punta Ellen as well, which is the fisherman's village down here at this area. Let me show you quickly the fisherman's village of Punta Ellen. As you can see, it is very small. We will have somewhere here in restaurant food, and we will walk through the village in order to show you how these people are living here. It is a lovely, lovely place, lovely people, and here, as you can see, a lot of mangroves and lagoons, and here are the boats in order to start the tour. Now, that is giving you a perspective. Okay, let's go further. I, on purpose, jumped over one we do not have in here. We have a Puerto Morelos tour as well, but Puerto Morelos is located between Playa del Carmen and Cancun. Where is it? Punta Marona, and there is Puerto Morelos. As you can see, there is a reef, a very shallow reef right in front of it, and Puerto Morelos is famous for its snorkeling area. I highly recommend you to go snorkeling. It's the perfect spot between Playa del Carmen and as well Cancun. And once you are there, you can go down this road, which is called Ruta de los Cenotes, since there are many, many cenotes. I'm trying to, if I can find it quickly, I'm not sure. I think in this area. No, I'm not 100% sure, but we are having a great cenote there, and I prepared a video for you, which I quickly wanted to show you. about the combination going to Puerto Morelos and to that area which is called Eco Park Zapote. I hope you enjoy that. Let's see. The volume is much higher than my volume. I like to watch that video. As you probably realized, that was again my family as the main actors in that tour. But a lot of interactive things again. Snorkeling in the morning. We go very early to Puerto Morelos. We like to be there at 7:30 in order to be the first and the only one into the water. Puerto Morelos, the snorkeling experience there is great because it's very shallow, so you have everything right in front of you. And then after the snorkeling experience, we go to that park where we have 3 cenotes doing the zip lines, and for children, this is again, actually this is our most popular family tour. As I said, from Playa del Carmen as well, to reach very quickly within 20 to 30 minutes Puerto Morelos from Playa del Carmen or Cancun, and then down the Ruta de los Cenotes. Okay, I wanted to make sure that I include that video as a bit more as an interruption of my tour here with you. You probably have heard about Tulum. I will not get too much into detail here about Tulum. It is an archaeological site, the 3rd most visited archaeological site in Cancun, in Mexico. Wow, Kai, wake up, get your thoughts straight. Let me go into the folder of Tulum. Tulum, the archaeological guided tour, usually there is 45 to 60 minutes. We do have the opportunity to bring you there at sunrise. If you're an early bird and you would like to appreciate that view, we are able to get you there before the original or official opening hours in a legal way. Please do not get me wrong. This is how it looks once the sun is up. And Tulum, like I said, a rather small archaeological site. It's a great way to start the day. It is one of the closest archaeological sites from Playa del Carmen, with only 50 minutes driving. In there, we usually need around an hour, maybe a bit longer if you are interested and if you would like to take some pictures. Usually it takes us from stepping out the van, getting back into the van, somewhat between 90 to 120 minutes. Tulum is one of the few archaeological sites located right at the Caribbean. And the last folder we're going to go in will be the whale sharks in the north of the Yucatan Peninsula. Here's Isla Mujeres, and here are the whale sharks. I want to show you that for sure. It is whale shark season. Whale shark, what day is it today? Today is the 24th. Since 9 days, it is officially whale shark season and nobody is out there. Why is that? Well, for obvious reason, but let me quickly go through with you the whale shark tour. We're going on a boat. These are our guests from Holland, and getting into the water with the biggest fish in the world. Let me rephrase that. Getting in the water, swimming next to the biggest fish in the world. That is what it is all about. Nothing to worry about. Please don't be scared. Here you can see a guest of ours and the biggest fish in the world, the whale shark, which is a plankton feeder, which you can see as well as here. All those little tiny dots you can see there, that is plankton, and that is why the biggest fish in the world is coming to this area. This is the area where the Caribbean and the Gulf Stream are merging. Let me show you quickly where we are. 2D helps a lot. We are here, whale shark area, as you can see, Gulf of Mexico and the Caribbean. This is where we're getting into the water. And it is an experience. I still get goosebumps thinking about the first time I jumped into the water. Please, I have to mention here, you see people going down. This is not allowed anymore. There is no free diving allowed anymore. You remember, I'm all about not creating wrong expectations. Please let me be very clear here. These pictures are made in 2017, if I'm not mistaken. You can see the old watermark here as well from us. By the way, pictures with Kai Tours are included in the price, and we decided this year that we will not include in the picture any watermarks anymore, since I consider it as an added value for you as our guest. If you're booking with us, pictures are included and no watermark anymore, because it looks ugly there, right? And you know where you have been gotten these pictures. So this is how it looks once we are done. Everybody happy, heading back to Isla Mujeres, and let's see if that video works. I wanted to share with you how it feels swimming with the biggest fish in the world. Obviously, you don't know how it feels by looking at it, but it gives you a better idea how that is actually working. The whale shark gets up to 12 meters in length. They are growing as tall as 12 to 14 meters. There is not a very specific size mentioned in where you, if you Google it, you get different sizes found. But what I'm trying to say is the average size we find of whale sharks is around 10 meters, which is in feet around 33 feet. Here's another 30 seconds of those gentle giants, we like to call them. Okay, and with that, we are heading back to our map. We reached the end of our long list of destinations. I wanted to show you Puerto Morelos in a video. Let me check. Oh, I have another one for you if you want to see that. If you like the whale sharks, if you have any questions, I will have time. Let's say 5 more minutes in the chat. If you want to use the chat and ask me questions, I'm more than happy to answer them. I consider that always as a great opportunity for me to share my knowledge, but as well to help you should you have any questions. Let's have a look at this video we made. It's a short version of a longer version we have on YouTube. The longer version is 7 minutes something. This is just 1 minute of our whale shark video. I hope you like it, and if you have any questions, feel free to reach out.
You better be there when I shake. Watch me rocking if I can't stop. If I should fall, just go ahead. Go and catch me, baby. Ooh, I live it. That's my true love, true to love. Ooh, I love it. Crank it up, yeah, yeah. Turn it up on a higher level. Turn it up, we got this.
Yeah, that was Yeah, I'm getting emotional about those pictures because we haven't seen them for quite a while, and yeah, that's why I'm saying I'm getting emotional. It's nice to see those happy faces. It's nice to see the sun, the beach, the color of the water, and everything else. Okay, it was a great pleasure to have you here. I can see there are no questions at the moment. Feel free, if you're looking at this, if you're watching this video as a replay, feel free to leave your comments in the comment section or ask your questions. I am really happy to answer them. Taking care of you, this is what we do. And for the rest, I'm wishing you a lovely, lovely day. And if you have any questions, well, feel free to reach out. Those questions or comments underneath the YouTube video reach my phone immediately. And I just realized that I still wear my earbuds because I was trying at the beginning if you can hear me well. Anyway, my excuses for the bumpy start of this live stream. I'm hoping that you enjoyed it. If you like what we are doing, why not sharing it with your friends, family, or colleagues? Why not putting a like on it? Or as well, please do not forget to subscribe if you like what we are doing. It is the idea that we are sharing our knowledge with you so you fall in love with Mexico the way I did, and as well you are able to make informed decisions and enjoy this country during your vacation. Thank you very much for being here. My name is Kai, and see you next time. Bye bye.